Hello everybody. Um, Sorry this isn't all nice and pretty and tied up. I just did a video that did not work so well, so I deleted it and thought I'd start over. This is a little soft cover junk journal that I made when I was making the needle books, or when I first learned how to make the needle books with Roxy's Creation Slow Stitch tutorial. And I had never done this before, and I had a little piece of some scraps of fabric that I wanted to use, and it ended up being bigger than a needle book, so I decided to make it a little journal. A lot of places for writing, some pockets and stuff to store. It's pocket size. It's about, I don't know, maybe 4 inches, maybe a little over 4, and it's about 5¼ wide. Long, I'm sorry. And I have this tattered scrap, snippet, whatever you want to call it, flower that I put on most all my journals and stuff. It's got some buttons on here and vintage laces used throughout, as well as some vintage fabrics and some new. Some of my favorite ones. And this is a mother of pearl button. Again, I'll show you at the end how I use the closure. Several layers of lace here. And this pocket is also fabric, and this has a little, this goes on here, and it goes like that. And it goes in this pocket, and it's a little book that I made. Sorry if I bumped the camera. It's got some vintage lace and some muslin for the binding. It's a pamphlet stitch and cardstock cover, coordinating bunnies, guest check, and just pieces of paper to write on, and a couple of little pull-outs and pockets in here. There's a pocket here, right here, for a skinny tag. Some more flip outs, and then there's also this coin pocket that's been gessoed and stamped, and so that goes there. And there's some various cardstock pieces throughout that I believe are Prima or Stamperia paper pack or cardstock pack. Some of the newer ones, and vintage trims. Over here I have a pocket here, and there's a little piece of script paper that you can write on the inside. There is also vintage laces for tabs. Here's another little snippet cluster that I made out of scraps, and this flips up so you can write and fold it back down. There's paper in here, and then this is a tag that I made using the manila tags, and then vintage lace bits. And these owls and birds are washi tape. This is actual watercolor artwork made by my friend Lexi Grinzer, and her Etsy is, well, she's got a couple of them. I'll have to link them, but just type in her name and it'll come up. And she had some washi tape made from some of her artwork. So very cute. And little card I made, just journal on. It's got another snippet on there. Some more paper here. And here is, oh, this goes the other way. I keep doing that. This is just a little offcut, and I made a little tuck, and you can also flip it up here and right, fold it back down. But just another little scrappy tag. And some more paper There's a pocket, another tag I made, a scrappy tag, and some more vintage lace tabs, and more tea stained paper. There's another pocket with a vintage lace and another tag. This is a paper bag. It's the back side, so I made a double tuck. And there's that. And again, more. This is also cardstock from one of the kits. And inside here, I made a little tablet that you can write on. And it's just tied in with string, so if you run out and you want to change it up, you can do that. And this is the center of the signature, and here's a pocket here. I did some stamping on, or that was on the paper. No, this one was on the paper, yeah. And then here's another tag there. Okay, here is a paper clip I made out of tickets. This is calico collage from one of her fairy collections. And then it has like writing on the back. And this is a coin envelope. It's got a little tab, and you flip it down and you can put stuff in there. Flip it back up and you can paper clip it down. I don't think it needs paper clip, but I thought it went there. This is one of my fabric collages that I usually put in my books. Sometimes I'll sew them in, other times I just leave them free, that way you can use them how you want. Usually it's a collection of some of the fabrics that I've used in the cover and some of the laces. So I don't know, it's just kind of like a little sampler collage. And you can clip it in, you can sew it in, you can glue it in, you can use it for a bookmark, you can take it out and do something entirely different with it. This is a little tiny fold out book. More paper to write on, to paint on, to draw on, to sketch on, to doodle on, to collage on. Here's some more of that. This is a little paper cardstock image that I got as a digital download from Karen Milstein, and she actually, this is some of her artwork, and she's made into digital images. The originals actually usually on, when she makes these, are usually on a piece of tin, and she cuts the tin out, so you have like a little tin ornament of these angel girls. And she uses burnt tin from their barn and workshop that burnt down a few years ago, and so she is actually recycling the burnt tin. I have several of her pieces, and they're just wonderful. And here's lace from Crafty Me Shop, and cross and a button. And this is also a pocket. And more paper that's blank. And then here's the back side of that bag. And then this is another flip out with some vintage lace on there. And this is the last signature page. And the inside cover, and there's some thin batting in there. And there's the back. And what I do is, that needs to go there. What I do is usually hook it, and I try to get it underneath the flower, and then I wrap it around, and then around the button, and it stays. That way, as it gets bigger or smaller, you still have plenty of ways to tie it. This will be available this is available to purchase if you want it. Just get a hold of me, either on Facebook or here on YouTube. Probably Wednesday. I will be taking it down to my shop in Bakersfield, so get a hold of me before then if you're interested. And this is the little needle book that I made, one of the little needle books that I made. This one's made out of all vintage feed sack pieces, and all this is hand stitched by me. And like I said, I've never done slow stitching before until this time, and so there's definitely some mistakes, but I like it because it's old looking. Well, it's everything that's in it, with the exception of the felt, is old. Here is the inside, and there's a little pocket I made with the fabrics, a double pocket actually. You get this little skein of yellow embroidery thread. It's got a charm here, and you get this other pin with a couple of other buttons, and it's got the 4 felt pages, and then there's the back, and there's an old button and some doily pieces here on the back. And this closes the same way as the other one. And I'll be making more of these. I have several started, so anyway, here you go. Cute, quick project that you can do watching TV. All right, thanks. Bye.